Hey YouTube, it's Todd here from Prepared to Survive, back at you with another video. Today we're going to go over the Get Home bag and why I think that if you are going to only have the funds, time, or desire to do one bag, the Get Home bag should be that bag. Stay with me and I'll explain why. So guys, the Get Home bag is designed primarily to do exactly what it says. Get home. Whether you're at work, out on a day trip with the family, out, camping for the weekend and this isn't your bag, and your car breaks down, or, you get into it, you can't travel because of the snow, or some shit hits the fan scenario happens, an EMP, cyber attack, I mean, you name it. There's so many uses for this bag. For me, I work about 12 miles away from my house on the highway. This bag is designed to get me to there. From there, it's basically up to 48 hours is the way I look at it. Depending on how far away you work from your house, that may be sufficient. It probably is, I mean, unless you're going 100 miles one way or something. But that's what this bag is designed for. And the reason why I say if you can only afford one bag, have the desire to build one bag, the room for one bag, this is the bag. It can function as your EDC bag. If you're going to the zoo for the day, you can take a couple things out to make room for like a jacket or a hoodie, more drinks, something like that. It could function as your bug out bag. Everything in here, I'll tell you right now, I would add things to make this my bug out bag. One of the things I would add is a tarp. I don't have the backpacking tarp in here yet. I'm waiting to order that. The other thing that I would add would be a really heavy duty sleeping bag. I have a bivy in here, but you'd want more. But you can lash those right to the bottom here or even to the side. I don't have them lashed on here, honestly, because I have a bug out bag with that stuff in it. But if you were tight on funds or something, your Get Home bag, unless you have absolutely nothing at home tying you down or you absolutely cannot go home, this is going to get you home to get your other stuff. Keep in mind, guys, bugging out is an absolute last resort. Getting home and being safe is the priority, and this is what this bag will do for you. So let's go ahead and get into it. Let me show you what I have on the outside. I have a Rescue Me. It's not the Rescue Me brand. It's a different brand. Spring-loaded window punch, seatbelt cutter, whistle. I like this one because it does have the whistle on it. We also have a Sharpie. This is for writing. I have it on the outside because I can write notes on my arm if I have to. It is the fat Sharpie. I'm probably going to get a thinner one at some point, but it's what I had here. And part of prepping, especially if you're on a budget, is working with what you have. Okay, writing notes. And there's just a ton of uses for it. Okay, I have a watch in case I forget mine. Very rarely am I without a watch. If I have an interview or something like that, I'll take it off. This is on the outside because honestly I couldn't find a good place in the bag for it. It's poison ivy relief spray. I get really bad poison ivy, like to the point of if I get poison ivy, I usually go on steroids. I have a paracord bracelet. It's much like the one I'm wearing. Double cobra weave. No compass. When I get more in, I'm just going to make one with a compass and swap this on here. Probably just cut these off because these are kind of expensive. The buckle has a whistle, a fire steel, and the scraper. The scraper does come out. Okay. On the outside, I have a first aid kit, which we will get to in just a minute. My headlamp, this usually, I just put something in here and I got to reorganize it a little bit. Goes right in there and then I just zip both up there. But the headlamp, because you want to make sure that you have a flashlight that's readily accessible. Now, as with any of our preparedness kits, I'll call them, these are in addition to your EDC, so you should have your firearm on you, your knife, flashlight, whatever you carry on you every day. But in case you don't, we want to supplement this as best we can. Flashlight, it's a 3-stage flashlight from Gander Mountain. It runs off of AAA's. Up front here, we have 2 more flashlights. This is a diffused flashlight. I got it from the fishing section at Bass Pro. It's pretty bright. It's really nice because it's compact. I had it on my keychain for a while. It was just a little too big for my keychain, I thought. And then I have this Rayovac, which is more of a directional flashlight. Cheap from Walmart. It's on the outside of the bag. It's honestly, it has a strike bezel. It's going to get beat up. I didn't want to spend a ton of money on that. Plus, this does sit in my car. It comes in every night with me when I come home. It goes out to my car with me every day when I go to work. My work's a pretty secure place, so I'm not worried about it getting broken into. But if I run to Walmart after work, I want this bag to look as cheap as possible, so to speak. The bag itself is an East-West USA bag. I got it from the gun show for $35. The tag said $85. I don't know if that's actually what it's worth or if they just put that tag on there to make you feel special when you're at the gun show. This clip, I will say I did make one modification. This ran up through here, so this was always up here. That's really annoying to get into that. Okay. On this side, I have a carabiner. I have a hat. I typically always am wearing a hat or have a hat in my car, but in case I don't, again, it's just a multicam hat. Normally I wouldn't go with tactical or camo colors, but I usually wear fitted hats. This is one of 2 hats I have that is Velcro in the back. And I can always take the stickers off if I want. And then I keep an empty Nalgene bottle here. The bottle typically will come into work with me in the morning, and then I'll bring it back out and I can clip it on here because I do drink water at work, and this prevents me from having to carry 2 Nalgenes. Sometimes it does just stay on the bag though, and I use the glasses at work. Okay? The first aid kit. Let's go ahead and dig into the first aid kit here, guys. So, I'm not telling you what you guys should do, but I'm telling you a really good idea if you're on a budget. A lot of times you'll go to work and they have those first aid cabinets. Well, sometimes, at least at my work, they have them like the guy just comes in, he's just gonna throw away the stuff in there because there's like 3 or 4 of these in a box and he has to replace the whole box. 9 out of 10 times you say, hey dude, I'll take those. They'll just give them to you. You can also get them from, you know, the store too if you really want. I just find them really convenient. These ones, my buddy actually has a store and they have the Cintas dude come in at his work. So he just gave it to me. I gave him a couple bucks. But in here, the front pouch, I have lens wipes and cleaner because I do wear glasses or sunglasses. I do have the lens cloth also on my keys, but this is redundancy. I have these little Glide deep clean floss packets. It's a little bit of cordage if I needed it, but keeps your teeth clean. And then I have the picks. Now, I've read online from dentists and stuff, they say if you're gonna brush your teeth or floss, flossing is better. You can always scrub your teeth with your shirt or whatever. They're the ones who went to a ton of schooling for it. I'm gonna assume there's probably a grain of truth to it. So that's why I have floss here. Plus I can floss on the move and not leave anything behind. If I really had to, I could shove the used floss in my pocket. Okay? Right here, I have contacts. My glasses break. If I lose my contact, I have extras. There's 4 in here. For those of you that don't know, I can only see out of my left eye due to cataracts in my right eye. So this is legit 4 contacts for me to be able to see. I have medicine, antidiarrheals, Advil, heartburn medicine, both prescription and non, Benadryl, Excedrin. Now that is probably going to get replaced with this or merged with it, just because this keeps everything nice and neat. That was in my EDC bag, that's why it's out here, because I wanted to show you guys separately and I got to figure out how I'm going to fit it in here. My EDC bag, just so you guys know, I did have to cannibalize to make this because my bug out bag was set. My EDC bag had a lot of the extra stuff in it, and then I was making this and I don't have the funds right now with a pending move and stuff like that to go out and just buy enough for this. So I took what I'm suggesting you guys do and made the most important bag. Okay? I have some dental relief if you get a cold sore. So on top of the dental relief here, we have lip aid ointment. So this is individual chapstick, which is always nice. Then we have a tampon, because apparently these things are really good at stopping blood. Who would have thought? Or not a tampon, a pad. See, I'm a guy, I don't know what that is. We have various first aid things, pads, non-stick pads, Neosporin, tweezers, burn relief, gloves, super glue, band-aids, more gloves, more band-aids, some non-sterile tweezers. Light them on fire, use rubbing alcohol if you need to sterilize them. I have a couple of these in there. I actually got 2 more today that I want to add in there. So I have 8 of these total. They're eye flush or eye drops. They're really handy. If you get something in your eye or your eyes dry out. So we're just gonna add everything back in here. I can organize this after. So it's not the most extensive first aid kit in the world, but it's better than no first aid kit. Yeah, it's going to need to be organized after. So, coming up here, this kit right here is kind of the stuff that I may want to grab pretty quick. I took out the speed loader from my revolver since my revolver's not actually in here. If I carry my revolver, the speed loader goes in there. Get this Rayovac flashlight. Got it from Walmart. They're like $5. It's a backup battery pack for your cell phone. AAA batteries, because that is what both flashlights, or all 3 flashlights in this bag use. Cliff Crunch granola. They're pretty crunched, but I can still eat them if I had to. Duct tape. Candles. I actually think I'm going to take these out. I'm not even sure what I had them in there for. And a bandana. So the candles were nice. I mean, I was thinking if I had to read something at night and I ran out of batteries or something. You know what? For now, I guess I'll leave them in there. But another way to start fire if I really had to, or if I couldn't get a fire going. So this bottom pouch right here doesn't have a whole lot in it, and I purposely did that because this has my cutting tools. It has a Mora fixed blade, the redhead paracord knife that we did a review on with a fire steel on here. I attached it on there with some zip ties, the Schrade Tough tool, and some electrical tape. Now the electrical tape is on top here because I don't have medical tape, and I don't have room for the electrical tape in my medical bag. So as long as I'm not the one that's hurt and I can't speak, I know where it is to patch people up. I didn't put it on the outside because I didn't want it to get full of gunk and stuff if that was the application it needed to be used for. In this compartment right here, this does zip down pretty far, which is nice. This is one thing I am adding right now, is a emergency blanket. I have another one in here, but this one never hurts to have 2. I'm also going to add these both in there right now, Right in the Rain pad and the pen. So hat and gloves, because it does get cold out here at night, and a trash bag. That is essentially the backpack cover that I have. And these first aid kit, these are like $8 I think at the local Army Navy store or something, $12. They're not super comprehensive, but again, first aid is super important in any kind of disaster situation, and is probably what I'm more than likely to use out of this bag over anything else. So back here, I got a little sewing kit. Actually, I'm probably going to put that in the first aid kit just so it stays nice and organized. And the sewing kit is for making bag repairs. You know, I guess if you had to, you could sew someone up with it. You know, it's in the first aid kit. Bag repairs, button repairs, you know, if this is function as an EDC bag. I do have a dry bag because if I am out and it starts to rain, I can put my cell phone in there. Silverware is free from the work cafeteria with the bag for my, or the belt pouch, not bag, pardon me, for the Stylus Pro, the straw for my Sawyer water filter, the back flush pump, the Browning Black Label tactical pen with a window breaker, a Gerber folding knife, and the Streamlight Stylus Pro flashlight. Also uses AAA. One thing that this bag does have in common is all the flashlights use the exact same batteries. Okay. that stuff is going back in here. I just got to reorganize the bag a little bit after this video. Okay, now into the big compartment here. This is some of the stuff I just added in here because I just was able to get to it in SOL emergency bivvy. This we'll go over after. An extra water bag. Either I can fill this up from the tap and have extra water, or it'll work with the Sawyer. I don't have toilet paper in here. I have paper towels. They're Viva tin foil. For food, I chose to go with the scrambled eggs with bacon, Mountain House. Extra wool socks. A camp heat, because these things are fantastic if you need to get a fire going or cook something in wet conditions. The camp heat stove that goes with it. This is what was in there. I'm actually going to take this out for the Right in the Rain. Water bottle. Metal so I can boil water in it. Stainless steel cup. Bass Pro paracord. It's only 350 pounds, but it's good for what I'm going to use it for. Tuna. 2 bottles of water. Gerber saw. Okay. And zip ties. That is everything in my get home bag. Like I say, the philosophy behind this bag isn't necessarily bugging out. It's getting home and ensuring that I have everything I need to get home from, 24 to 48 hours away from my house. Now, the one thing in here that I didn't show you guys yet is this. This is what I call the I can't lose it bag. It's my fire kit, my water filter, cutting tools, everything in here. So give me just a minute to pack this up, and we're actually going to go over this here. One thing I did forget, guys, and it's back here, and I'm not used to this backpack having that compartment. It is a new bag for me, is I have the Slim Rescue Howler, a can opener, a little fishing kit. It has 30 or 40 pound spider wire test, a lead, hooks, weights, everything in there. So if I really had to fish, I could. Also have a little shovel, and in here I also have one of those little pole saws, just as redundancy if I had to process something a little bit bigger for either making a shelter or whatever, and my Gerber saw was not working. So like I say, go ahead and give me 1 minute to pack this up, and we will go ahead and review the bag that I cannot go without, because it has the more important stuff in it. Alright, guys? Alright, guys, so here we have one of the, I would say probably the most important component to the get home bag system that I have. It's just a little Molly pouch or whatever I got from the Army Surplus store. I'm not even sure what brand it is. Probably Condor or something. I don't know. On the outside, I have a little Purell hand sanitizer, starting fires, cleaning your hands if you have to clean an animal, or work on your car, anything really. In the front compartment here, we have the Sawyer water, the squeeze system bag. We have the filter itself. Now keep in mind, in the big bag back here, we have the water bottles as well as the other bag that'll fit on. And apparently my dog thinks they smell fantastic. Sharpener. Watch your head. Gerber knife. This is actually brand new. I bought this and it went in this bag, so. And then it's a little Swiss Army knife knockoff. It has all the same tools. And then a magnesium stick with the fire steel and the striker. So I'm not actually going to do it inside the house, but over here I have a carabiner, which conveniently make sure these don't get too far apart. That's as much as they can open. I can hang something off of if I need to, medicine. This has heartburn medicine in it, antidiarrheals, and some Tylenol and Advil. Inside here, this is the fire kit, the bulk of the fire kit, besides the magnesium. Cotton balls coated in Vaseline, inside tin foil so they don't muck everything else up. 2 wet fires, an Esbit cube, some dryer lint, Burt's Bees, which serves multiple purposes as chapstick and a fire starter, matches, and 2 lighters. Sunscreen, and the SOL emergency bivvy right there. Now, the reason why I was referring to this as my I can't forget this bag or lose this bag is because if I lost everything else in that bag, or if I had to abandon that bag, this right here has a lot of the prime components in it. The only thing it's missing that I'd really like to have in here is some cordage. I mean, I guess you could argue that I do have some cordage, but it's not anywhere near what you should have in here. Now, what I am going to put in here for cordage when I do get it, because of the low profile and small space I'm working with, is going to be bank line. So there will be some bank line in here. That is one thing that I'm definitely going to add in. But this was designed so if for whatever reason I had to abandon this bag broke or something, whatever, I'd have this. So that's the theory behind that. And all of this together is my get home bag system. Let me know what you guys think. Oh, one more thing I do want to point out before I forget. I kind of have these up here as a last resort for fire starting. I have one of these SOL sparkers and 3 of these Tinder Quicks. These things are waterproof, so I'm not worried about them being in a bag. That's kind of my last resort for using it if I have to. So, but let me know what you guys think. If there's any changes you guys would add, things you take out, things you put in. One thing I'm debating on putting in here is a subcompact 9mm. That way I have something. I mean, I typically always have my gun on me, but if I don't, I have something. That's just a thought that I was kicking around. Let me know what you guys think. It does sit in my car all day at work, so I know that that's a concern for some people. Other people, don't care. So if you have any other questions, like I say, don't hesitate to ask, and I'll see if I can find a link for this bag online, but I'm not sure that I'll be able to. Thanks for watching, guys, and have a great day.